story is called Christmas Tree Decorations. And this story is all about a very young girl who is home alone on Christmas Eve, and she has this encounter, a pretty nasty encounter with this man who claims to be Santa Claus. So this story takes place in Paris, and the young girl, she is 11 years old, and her name is Juliette. On Christmas Eve, she was home alone. Her mother was working because she's a nurse, and she works at the local hospital, so she couldn't be with her daughter Christmas Eve, which is pretty sad. So Juliette, she was decorating her Christmas tree, but you know what, just to interrupt the story, like, who decorates their Christmas tree on Christmas Eve? Like, Like, I don't understand that, but I mean, like, if you do that, then, like, that's cool, but, like, I just don't get it, but whatever. Juliette's mother then called her and said that she won't be home till really late. Like, I think she was supposed to be home a lot earlier, but then she's like, hey, I have to stay a lot longer. So Juliette was kind of sad about that. So she continued to decorate the Christmas tree. She went crazy. She had all these lights, like all these decorations. She went nuts. She put the angel on top of the tree, and then after she was finished, she sat down, relaxed, and watched some Christmas movies. In the actual story, it says that she's watching TV shows, but I'm just gonna say she's watching Christmas movies because it makes more sense, right? So as she's watching Christmas movies, she starts hearing this really weird scratching sound coming from the front door. So she mutes her TV and she kind of just listens very carefully, and it's a really eerie silence, like it's completely silent. So she's like, alright, that's kind of weird, like what is going on? Is it Krampus or something? So she decided to get up and go to her front door and look through the peephole. And as she looked through the peephole, she saw a man who looked like Santa Claus. He was wearing a red suit, he was so big and jolly, he had a white beard, a hat, like he looked like Santa Claus. So she was like, oh my god, Santa Claus, he came early, like I thought you're supposed to come when I go to sleep, but like what, alright. But then Santa, he started knocking on the door kind of loud and like kind of, you know, aggressive. So Juliette was kind of scared, and then she said, who's there? The man then replied, it's Santa Claus. I'm cold and I'm hungry. Let me in. So Juliette, you know, at first she was like, okay, like this is Santa Claus, but then after he said that in that tone to her, she was like, hey, this definitely is not Santa Claus, and he's some creepy old man, and like I don't know what he's doing here, but he's really creeping me out. I'm all by myself. I don't know what to do. So she continued looking through the peephole, and she noticed that this man was getting so angry in his face. Like he was turning red, and he just looked like he was, you know, he was getting very angry, and that scared her even more. And he started banging on the door like he was like, oh my god, he was so even more aggressive that time. He even started rattling the doorknob, so that is just taking it to like a totally different level, and it's just, that's not right. So he started saying, it's me, Juliette, it's Santa Claus. Have you left out cookies and milk for me? Because it's Santa Claus, like let me in. So first of all, how the heck does he know her name? Like, oh my god, I couldn't even imagine being Juliette. That would just terrify me. And that's exactly what happened with Juliette. She had that feeling in her stomach, like her heart fell to her stomach. She was terrified. She was thinking to herself, how the heck does this guy know my name? Unless he really is Santa Claus, because Santa Claus, he knows all of our names, right? But he was not the typical Santa Claus. Like Santa Claus is supposed to be super friendly and jolly and happy and just, you know, crazy in a good way. But this man, he was like nasty, he was mean, and he was just creepy. Then he started kicking at the door, like even more aggressive than the last 2 times, and she was so scared. So she looked through the peephole again, and she noticed that he pulled out a knife out of his red suit. So obviously this is not Santa Claus. Like, you know, it is just not Santa Claus, because why would Santa have a knife? And why would Santa Claus come through the front door? He's supposed to come to your chimney, like, you know. So Juliette then said to him, if you don't leave, I'm gonna call the police. All of a sudden, the man sounded as if he wasn't there, like he vanished, because it was complete silence out in that hallway. The door stopped rattling, his anger, you know, pounding on the doors, it all stopped. So she was just staring at the door. She stopped looking at the peephole, but then she slowly made it over to the peephole again, and then looked through the peephole, and what she saw, like, it was silent. Nobody was there. So she was like, okay, you know, I guess I scared him off, like, he's just some creeper. I told him I'm gonna call the police, so, you know, I guess that scared him, now he's gone. So as she's looking through the peephole, she's thinking to herself, you know, okay, I guess I really did scare him off by saying I'm gonna call the police if he doesn't leave, so, you know, he is some creepy man. I guess that scared him off. I'll go back to doing what I was doing, like, everything's gonna be okay. So meanwhile, she's still looking through the peephole as she was thinking all of that. then she sees the man running by with an axe. Juliet, she screamed so loud she ran into her closet. And as she ran into her closet, she was crying, like she was shocked. She didn't know what was going on. She hears this man holding this axe, banging it against the door, trying to knock down her front door. The creepy man, he succeeded with that because he knocked down that door, so he was inside her house. So obviously this man is a whack job, so he made it inside of her house and he's laughing to himself like a psychopath saying, Juliet, my pretty, where are you, my pretty? Where are you hiding? Come out, my pretty. Like, what the heck? Like, who are you? The Wicked Witch of the West? Like, honestly. So Juliet, she is inside of her closet. She is crying. The man is walking around her whole house trying to look for her, and then he comes right in front of the closet with the axe. He starts rattling the doorknob like he did with the front door, and he's saying, Juliet, I know you're in there. Open up for Santa Claus. She grabbed this wire coat hanger and she twisted it into a point. So that's basically her weapon. So when she saw the man coming into the closet, she grabbed that coat hanger, the wire coat hanger, and she she went crazy. I mean, I don't blame her, obviously, self-defense. It went right into his eye, so he was screaming because, I mean, obviously, that would be painful. Blood is just pouring down his face, so he grabbed Juliet by the hair and he was dragging her all over the house. So Juliet is on the floor. He's kind of over top of her, just standing over top of her. The blood is all coming off of his face, like out of his eye, going down his face and landing onto her face, which is so sickening. And as the blood is going down his cheeks and onto her face, like right all over her face, he starts smiling, and then you guys know I'm thinking about Sweet Tooth again. He does this really creepy smile, like a very evil smile at Juliet. So then, as he's looking at her with that smile, this is what he said to her, and I wrote it down in my notes because I just didn't want to mess it up if I couldn't memorize it. So he said to her, tonight you will be privileged, my lovely Juliet. I've got a list and I've checked it twice. I'm here to decide if you've been naughty or nice. You can scream and beg for your life, but naughty girls get the axe and nice girls get the knife. So Juliet's mother, she comes home after midnight that night. She sees the front door is completely open. It's smashed open. She's like, what the heck? She sees blood all over the house. She sees the closet door smashed open as well. So she's going all over the house looking for Juliet. And when she turned the corner, she saw the Christmas tree. And Juliet's body parts are all on the Christmas tree as ornaments. And her head is the tree topper. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, should I have said this story? You know, it is kind of crazy, but it's scary, and you guys know me. I have a scary channel. It's what I do. But yeah, that story is really scary. It's disgusting. It's sickening. And it's just disgusting. I hope